Great Compassion Dharani Sutra. Thus, however, once Shakyamuni Buddha was on the Potala mountain in the treasure-adorned way place in Avalokitesvara palace, sitting on the precious lion's throne adorned in purity with countless multifarious many jewels. Hundreds of precious streamers and banners were hanging all around. At that time, because the Tathagata, who was sitting on his throne, intended to explain the teaching of the total retention Dharani, he was together with innumerable Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, whose names are Dharani King Bodhisattva, Treasure King Bodhisattva, Besaja Raja, Medicine King Bodhisattva, Besaja Samudgata, Medicine Superior Bodhisattva, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Mahastama Prapta, Great Strength Bodhisattva, Avatam Saka Bodhisattva, Great Sublime Bodhisattva, Precious Deposits Bodhisattva, Virtue Store Bodhisattva, Vajragarbha Bodhisattva, Akashagarbha Space Store Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Samanta Bhadra Universal Goodness Bodhisattva, Manjuri Bodhisattva, and so on. Such Bodhisattva Mahasattvas are all great Dharma princes who had been empowered through their crowns Abhisheka. The Buddha also, together with innumerable great voice hearers, Sravakas, all carrying out the 10th stage of Arat practice headed by Mahakasyapa. He also, together with innumerable gods of Brahma heaven headed by Sindha Brahma, he was also together with innumerable gods of heaven of the desire realm headed by Ubhaga God. He was also together with innumerable four guardians gods headed by Dhritarashtra. He was also together with innumerable gods, dragons, Yaksha, Gandhavas, Asuras, Garudas, Kinnaras, Varadas, human beings, Amanusiyas, headed by heavenly virtue great dragon king. He was also together with innumerable goddesses of heaven of the desire realm headed by virginal eye goddess. He was also together with innumerable Sunyatas, god of spaces, gods of rivers and oceans, gods of fountains and springs, gods of streams and ponds, gods of herb, gods of forest, gods of houses, gods of water, gods of fire, gods of earth, gods of winds, gods of grounds, gods of mountains, gods of rocks, gods of palaces, and so on. They all came and gathered in the congregation. At that time in the congregation, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva secretly emitted his sacrosanct light there upon the world in the 10 directions, along with 3,000 great thousand world systems were all illuminated and became golden heavenly palaces, palaces of dragons and palaces of all gods were all shaken, rivers, oceans, iron ring mountains, Kakravada, Parvata, Sumeru mountains, earth mountains and black mountains were also shaken. The light of suns, moons, spurs, fire and constellations all disappeared. Witnessing this rare scene, Dharani King Bodhisattva was more surprised than ever before, so he rose from his seat, joined his palm and asked the Buddha with the Gata Plus, who achieved the correct awakening today, emitting such great bright light universally. The world of the 10 directions are all golden, so do these 3,000 great thousand worlds, who attain the ultimate freedom today, manifesting the rare great holy power. Innumerable Buddha worlds are shaken, so do palace of dragons and gods. Now the entire congregation is wondering, not knowing what power caused this is a Buddha, Bodhisattva, or great voice hearer, or Brahman, demon, heavenly god, or Sakra. We pray for the Bhagavan, we pray for the Bhagavan, one of great creation, to tell us the cause of his great supernatural power. The Buddha told Dharani King Bodhisattva, virtuous man, you all should know that in this congregation there is a Bodhisattva Mahasattva named Avalokitesvara, the unrestricted one. He had achieved the great kindness and great compassion his uncountable kapas before, and he excels at practicing countless Dharani gates in order to comfort and please all living beings. He secretly emits such great sacrosanct power. After the Buddha said that, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva arose from his seat, tidied up his clothes, joined his palm toward the Buddha and said, Bhagavan, I have a mantra, great compassionate earth Dharani, and now wish to proclaim it for comforting and pleasing all living beings, for healing all illness for living beings, to attain additional lifespan for living beings, to gain wealth, for extinguishing all evil karma and weighty sin, for keeping away from hindrance and disasters, for producing merits of all what dharmas, for maturing all virtuous roots, for overcoming all fears, for fulfilling all good wishes. Bhagavan, please be merciful and allow me to speak. The Buddha said, virtuous man, you have great kindness and great compassion in order to comfort and please all living beings. You wish to speak the holy mantra, it is the proper time now. Please speak it soon. The Tathagata compliantly rejoices it, and so do all Buddhas. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva then said to the Buddha, Bhagavan, I remember that countless billion of kapas ago a Buddha whose name was Thousand Ways King, stillness thus come one, appeared in the world. Because of his mercy and mindfulness to me and all living beings, that Buddha, the world honored one, spoke this vast, perfect, unimpeded, great compassion. Net earth Dharani rubbed my crown with his golden hand and said, virtuous man, you should hold this earth mantra to give great benefit and happiness to all living beings in the future eagle age. At that time I was just at the first Bhumi stage of Bodhisattva. Right after hearing this mantra, I exceeded the 8th Bhumi. At this time, because my heart was joyful, I vowed, if I will be able to give benefit and happiness to all living beings in the future, let me have 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes. Immediately, instantly after the vow, I got fully 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes on my bodies, and the ground of the walls of the 10 directions quaked in 6 way thousand Buddhas of the 10 directions emitted their light to my body and illuminated boundless world of the 10 directions. From then on, from countless Buddha and congregation, I repeatedly heard, accepted and held this Dharani, and the joys were also repeatedly aroused from my heart and made me greatly enthusiastic. Therefore, I transcended impossible birth and death and conquered billions of kappa. Since then, I've been always reciting, holding this mantra, and I've never forgotten it. Because of holding this mantra, I was always born by miraculously creation, nirvana, from lotuses in front of Buddha, and I've never been born from anyone. If there are monks, bhikshus, nuns, bhikshunis, laymen, upasakas, laywomen, upasikas, pure youths and maidens who wish to recite and hold this mantra, they should first arouse their great merciful compassionate heart for all living beings and follow me in making this vow. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly know all Dharma. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon obtain the wisdom I. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly ferry all living beings to shore of liberation. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon obtain virtuous skillful means to enlighten various living beings. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly board the prajna boat. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon transcend the ocean of suffering. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly achieve precept, samadhi and the way. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon ascend the mountain of nirvana. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly dwell in the house of non-action. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon unite with the Dharma nature body. If I go toward the mountain of nice of itself breaks up. If I go toward the boiling oil of itself dries up. If I go towards the earth of themselves disappear. If I go towards the hungry ghosts of themselves become full. If I go towards the Asuras, the evil thoughts of themselves are tamed. If I go towards the animals, they themselves obtain great wisdom. After making this vow, recite my name, Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Sattva. With the deepmost earth, also recite single, mind and limb, the name of my teacher, Amitabha, Tathagata. Namo Amitabha. Then recite this mantra 5 times or more in a day to remove weighty sin of birth and death of hundreds of thousands of billions of kappa from the body. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva then said to the Buddha, Bhagavan, if human or God recite and all the phrases of great compassion Dharani, when they are about to die, all the Buddha of the 10 directions will come to receive them in their own, and they will be reborn in whichever Buddha world according to their wishes. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva continued to say to the Buddha, Bhagavan, should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra great compassion fall into the three evil paths and will not to achieve the correct awakening? Should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra great compassion not be reborn in any Buddha world and will not to achieve the correct awakening? Should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra of great compassion not obtain a limited samadhi and eloquence and will not to achieve the correct awakening? Should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra of great compassion not obtain whatever he seeks in his present life, if it cannot be called the Dharani of the great compassion earth unless it is used by those who are not virtuous or not completely sincere? If a woman dislikes a female body and wishes to become a male, she recites the phrase of the great compassion Dharani but cannot change from a female to a male and will not to achieve the correct awakening. However, if she arouses even a slight doubt, her wish will not be satisfied. If any living being uses the drinks, food or possession of Sangha's group of monks, even though 1,000 Buddhas appear in the world, he will not get to repent and reform. Even if he repents, his sin will not be eliminated, but now by reciting this great compassion holy mantra, his sin will be eliminated. If anyone usurps it or uses drink, food or possession of Sangha, he must repent to teach us of the 10 directions to eliminate his sins. Now when he recites his great compassion Dharani, the teacher of the 10 directions will come to bear witness, and then all his weighty sins and hindrances will be eliminated. All evil karma and weighty sins, such as the 10 evil deeds, the 5 rebellious sins, slandering people, slandering the Dharma, breaking the abstinent precept, breaking other precept, destroying stupa, breaking temples, stealing property of Sangha, and profaning Brahma practices, can be completely eliminated, except one thing. If one does not about the Dharani, then even his small sins and light karma cannot be eliminated, not to mention the weighty sins. Although the weighty sins do not disappear immediately, the reciting can still be the cause of body in the future. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva continued to say to the Buddha, people God who recite and hold the great compassionate Dharani will obtain 15 kinds of good births and will not suffer 15 kinds of bad deaths. Bad deaths are, they will not die of starvation or poverty. They will not die from having been yoked, imprisoned, canned, or otherwise beaten. They will not die at the end of hostile enemies. They will not be killed in military battles. They will not be killed by tiger, wolves, or other fierce beasts. They will not die from the venom of poisonous snakes, black serpent, or scorpion. They will not drown or be burned to death. They will not be poisoned to death. They will not be killed by mediumistic insects. They will not die of madness or insanity. They will not be killed by landslide or falling trees. They will not die in nightmares sent by evil people. They will not be killed by deviant spirit or evil ghosts. They will not die of evil illnesses that bind the body. They will not commit suicide. Those who recite and hold the great compassionate holy mantra will not suffer any of these 15 kinds of bad deaths and will obtain the 15 kinds of good birth. The place of birth will always have a good king. They will always be born in a good country. They will always be born at a good time. They will always meet virtuous friends. The organ of the body will always be complete. Their earth of way will be pure and mature. They will not violate the prohibitive precepts. All their relatives will be kind and harmonious. They will always have the necessary wealth and goods in abundance. They will always obtain the respect and help of others. Their possession will not be plundered. They will obtain everything they seek. Dragons, gods, and good spirits will always protect them. In the place Where they are born, they will see the Buddha and hear the Dharma. They will awaken to the profound meaning of that proper Dharma which they hear. Those who recite and hold the great compassionate earth Dharani will obtain these 15 kinds of good births. O God, and people should constantly recite and hold it without laziness. After saying that, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva joined his palm and stood up in front of the congregation. I was this great compassionate earth for all living beings, smiled, and in this way spoke the sacrosanct wonderful phrases of the vast, perfect, unimpeded, great compassionate earth, great Dharani. The Dharani is Namo Ratnatrayaya, Namo Ariya, Avalokitesvaraya, Bodhisattvaya, Mahasattvaja, Mahakarunikaya, Om Sarva Rabaye Sudanaya Sya, Namo Skritva Imam Ariya Avalokitesvara Ramdava, Namo Narakundi Iri Maharatna Sami, Sarva Adadu Subhyayi Asikin Sattva Satanarama, Satanama Bhagava Vatrata, Om Avalokes Lokati Kaloti Serima Bodhisattva, Sattva Sattva Mara Mara Maes Maes Rudrajin Guru Guru Karma, Turu Turu Varjayati Ma Varjayati Dara Dara Trini Savaraya Chara Chara, Nama Varmara Mukti Tries Ies Sarma Sarma Arasham Buddha Rasari Vasa Vasam Buddha Rasari, Uru Uru Mira Uru Uru Esri, Sara Sara Seri Seri Seru Seru Bodhiya Bodhiya Budaya Budaya Maitreya Narakundi Iri Maharatna Samizvaha Siddhaya Svaha Mahasidhaya Svaha Siddha Ariyai Sava Ariyai Svaha Narakundi Svaha Marana Svaha Setyara Sangha Amukaya Svaha Sarvamaha Siddhya Riyati Svaha Kakra Siddhaya Svaha Buddha Dharma Siddhaya Svaha Narakundi Bhaga Ariyai Sada Maravisin Karma Ariyai Svaha Namo Ratnatriyai Namo Avalokitesvara Ariyai Svaha Om Siddhartha Bandala Bandiyai Svaha. When Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva finished speaking this mantra, the earth shook in 6 ways. The heavens rained down precious flowers which fell in colorful profusion. All the Buddhas of the 10 directions were delighted, while the heavenly demons and exterior past practitioners were so frightened that the earth stood on an end. Everyone in the congregation achieved different fruition, including fruition of 3 mentorers, Srota, Apana, once-returners, Skard, Agamin, non-returner, Anagamin, and Arat. Others achieved the first Bhumi, stage of Bodhisattva, the second Bhumi, the third, fourth, fifth, up to the 10th Bhumi. Innumerable living beings arose. The body earth, they resolved to save all living beings and help them to achieve the correct awakening. Then the great Brahma, heavenly king, arose from his seat, tidied up his clothes, joined his palm respectfully, and said to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, "O virtuous Mahasattva, I had attended innumerable Buddha congregation and heard myriads of Dharma and Dharani, but never before heard such sacrosanct wonderful praises of the unimpeded great compassionate earth's great compassion Dharani. Mahasattva, please tell us the feature and figure of this Dharani. All of us will be pleased to know that." Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva told the Brahma king, "For the convenience of benefiting all living beings, you have asked me this question. Now you listen carefully. I will tell you in brief." Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said, "It is the great merciful and compassionate earth and impersonal earth, the motionless earth, the unpolluted and untouched earth, the emptiness observing earth, the respectful earth, the humble earth, the uncluttered earth, the non-view and non-grasping earth, and the uppermost body earth. You should know that such earth has the feature and figure of this Dharani. You should practice according to them." Then the great Brahma king said, "We now know the feature and figure of this Dharani. From now on, we will recite and hold it, and will never dare to forget or lose it." Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said, "If any virtuous man or virtuous woman who recite and always only Dharani can arouse the vast body earth that vote to fill all living beings to the shore of compassion, keep the abstinent precept bodily, arouse the earth of equality toward all living beings, keep reciting this Dharani without interruption, reside in a clean room, wash themselves clean, wear clean clothes, hang up streamers and light up lamps, make offering with fragrances, flowers, vegetable food, and red of tastes, concentrate the mind to the one point, do not think about other, and recite and hold this Dharani according to the Dharma, then sunlight Bodhisattva, moonlight Bodhisattva, and innumerable gods and immortals will come to bear witness and enhance the efficacy of their recitation. At that time I will illuminate them with 1,000 eyes and protect and support them with 1,000 hands. From then on, they will be able to master all worldly literature and will perfectly understand all exterior space theories and sorceries as well as the Veda scriptures. One who recites and all this holy mantra can heal all of the 84,000 kinds of diseases of the world without exception. He also can command all ghosts and spirits, vanquish heavenly demons, and tame all exterior spaces practitioners. If one is reading sutra or practicing dhyana in a mountain or in a wild field, or some mountain spirits, various gods, demons, monsters, or deva come to disturb and make him unable to concentrate, reset the mantra once, then all those gods and spirits will be tied up. If one can recite this mantra in accord with Dharma and who is merciful and compassionate earth toward all living beings, I will then command all virtuous gods, dragon kings, and Vajra secret places, divinities to always follow and guard him, never leaving his side, guarding him as their own eyes and life. Then Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said the Gatha, I command the Vajra secret traces night, Ushuma, Kundalin, Ankusa, and the 8 clans powerful knight Sankara to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Mahesvaras, Narayana, Umbiraba, and Kapila to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Pagis, Sarasakas, Perfect, Virtuous, Shebus, and Kimanas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Saja Maoras, Bandas, Katabutanas, and Bandras to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Vipagara kings and morality Vitasaharas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Brahma king Sambra, the 5 clans of pure abode heavens, and Yamad Rajas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Sakra Devana Mindra, the lord of the 33 heavens, Savras, Vastis, and Vardanas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Dhritarashtra king, Aritis goddess, and great strength gods to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Virudaka king, Virupaksa king, and Vesravana king to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command the golden peacock king of the 28 clans of great immortals to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Mani, Bhadra, and Pantika Emperor Palava to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Manda, Upadanda, and the Sagara Dragon King Ibra to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command the Asuras, Gandavas, Karunas, Gimnaras, and Maharagas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command the gods of water, fire, thunder, lightning, Kumbanda king, and Pikasas to guard the mantra holders constantly. Those virtuous gods, dragon kings and goddesses, each along with 500 retinues of great strength, Yaksa, will always follow and guard the holder of the great compassion holy mantra. If the mantra holder dwells and sleeps alone in an uninhabited mountain or wilderness, those virtuous gods will guard him by turns to eliminate misfortunes. If the mantra holder loses his way deep in the mountain because of reciting this mantra, the virtuous gods and dragon kings will transform themselves into virtuous people and tell him the correct way. If the mantra holder lacks water or requires fire in a mountain, forest or wilderness, the dragon kings will protect him by miraculously creating water and fire for him. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva then said, a misfortune eliminating a refreshingly cool Gatha. When walking in wilderness, mountain or marsh, if encountering tiger, wolves or fierce beasts, or snakes, spirits, demons, monsters, ghosts. They will be unable to harm the mantra holder when they hear the mantra. When voyaging on river or sea, poison dragons, flood dragons, and makaras, yakshas, rakshas, fishes, and soft-shelled turtles will dodge when they hear this mantra. If besieged by battle arrays of robbers or being robbed by villains, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. Those villains will show mercy and go back. If one is imprisoned by government official, jail, chain, and lock, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. The officer will show mercy and set him free. If entered a house of poisonous insect raising family in a wild way, the family purpose to venom with drinks, food, or medicine, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. The poison will turn to nectar. When a woman is giving birth to a child, evil demons come to obstruct the birth and causing suffering and oppressive pain. Recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. The demons will disperse, leaving a safe and comfortable birth. If evil dragons or pestilence, ghosts spread poison, people are infected by pyrexia and about to die, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. Disease will be healed and lives of people will be lifetime. If evil dragons or ghosts spread the tumescent diseases, people suffer from carbunculus, sore, abscess, ulcer, and bleeding. Recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely, then spit 3 times to the abscesses and he will be cured. These are model on wicked living beings who aroused immortal minds, causing hatred by sending nightmare, ghosts, and curses to you. Recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely, then the hexes and evil spells will return to its original sender. When Dharma is about to disappear, the world is evil, feculent, and disordered. People's sexual desires are like raging fire. Their hearts are deluded and they confuse right and wrong. They have adulteries with others behind their spouses and think of lust days and night without a pause. If they can recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely, the fire of sexual desire will quench and the evil minds will go out. If I glorify the effect and power of this mantra in detail, even 1 kappa is not enough for the glorification. Then Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva told the Brahmas, recite this mantra 5 times, use thread of 5 colors to tie a knot, then recite the Dharani 21 times, tie 21 knots. Wear it on neck. This mantra has been spoken by previous 9.9 billion Ganges River Saint Buddhas. Those Buddhas spoke this mantra for the practitioner who practice the 6 perfection paramita, but have not yet fulfilled them to make them succeed quickly. For those who have not yet arise body earth, to make them arise body earth quickly. For Stravakas who have not yet achieved fruition, but to make them achieve fruition quickly. For all gods and supernatural persons in the 3,000 great thousand worlds who have not yet aroused the unsurpassed body earth, to make them arise the body earth quickly. For all living beings who have not yet gained the root of faith in Mahayana, with the mighty holy power of this Dharani, their seed of Mahayana and Dharma buds will grow quickly with the power of my expedience, mercy and compassion. All of their needs will be supplied. For those living beings of the 3 evil paths who live in the gloomy region of the 3,000 great thousand worlds, when they hear this mantra, they will be free from suffering. For Bodhisattva who have not yet achieved the first bhumi, to make them achieve quickly and make them achieve even up to the 10th bhumi and even up to the Buddhahood with the 32 marks and 8 manon marks achieved naturally. If a voice hearer Sravaka once hears this Dharani pass by his ear, if he practices and writes this Dharani, and if he settles down with straightforward earth in accord with Dharma, then he will naturally achieve the 4th Ramana foot, even if he does not seek for the fruition. Suppose all the mountain, rivers, cliff and ocean in the 3,000 great thousand worlds can be boiled, the Sumeru mountains and Kakravada Parvata mountains can be shaken and grind into dust. For all living beings of that number to arouse the unsurpassed body earth, if anyone prays for any wish in this present life, he should keep the abstinent precept and keep reciting this Dharani for 21 days, then his wishes will certainly be fulfilled. From the verge of the previous birth and death to the verge of the next birth and death, all his evil karmas will be cleaned up in the 3,000 great thousand worlds. All the Buddha, Bodhisattva, Brahmas, Sakra, Devana, Indra, the 4 guardian gods, divinities, immortals and dragon kings will bear witness. If a human or heavenly beings recite and all this Dharani bath in a river on the sea, the nearby living beings, yet wet by his bath water, will have their weighty sin clean and be reborn in pure land. Go further direction, they will learn through miraculous creation from lotuses, and will not undergo birth from wombs, moist to the ends, are much more so of those who recite and all these Dharani themselves. If one recite and all this Dharani is walking, a wind blows his hair and closes, then the living beings blown by the wind that previously touched the mantra holder will have their heavy obstruction and evil karma cleansed, will not continue to suffer from karmas of the three evil paths, and often be born in front of the Buddhas. It should be known that the mantra holder's blessing, virtues and fruit repayment will be unimaginable. If the mantra holder says anything, no matter good or bad, it sounds like pure Dharma sounds to all heavenly demons, exterior space practitioners, gods, dragons, ghosts, and spirits. Thus, they will respect the mantra holders as if he were a Buddha. As to one who recite and all this Dharani, we should know that he is a store of Buddha bodies, because he is cherished by 9.9 billion Ganges river saints Buddha. We should know that he is a brilliant light source, because he is illuminated by the light of all Tathagatas. We should know that he is a store of mercies and compassion, because he constantly saves living beings with this Dharani. We should know that he is a wonderful Dharma store, because this Dharani includes all Dharani gates. We should know that he is a store of dhyana and samadhi, because hundreds of thousands of samadhi often appear in front of him. We should know that he is an empty spaces store, because he constantly observes living beings with wisdom of emptiness. We should know that he is a store of intrepidities, because he is constantly guarded by dragons, gods, and virtuous gods. We should know that he is a wonderful language store, because the Dharani sounds come from his mouth is uninterrupted. We should know that he is an eternally abiding store, because the three disasters and evil kalpas cannot harm him. We should know that he is a liberation store, because heavenly demons and exterior past practitioners cannot detain him. We should know that he is a medicine king store, because he constantly heals living beings with his Dharani. We should know that he is a supernatural power store, because he can freely travel around the Buddha worlds. The glorification and virtues of the mantra holder are endless. Virtuous man, if one tires of the suffering of the world and seeks for happiness of long life, he should settle down in an occupied and clean space, make a pure, secure bondari, recite this Dharani toward his clothing, water, food, fragrance, or medicine for 100 times, and then use them. Then he will certainly gain a long life. If he can make a secure bondari, accept and all the Dharani in accord with Dharma, then all things will be achievable. The method of making a secure bondari is recite the Dharani 21 times towards the knife, and then mark the ground with the knife to make a bondari. Or recite the Dharani 21 times towards some clean water, and then sprinkle it around as the bondari. Or recite the Dharani 21 times towards some white mustard seed, and then scatter them around as the bondari. Make a bondari by mind. Or recite the Dharani 21 times towards some clean ashes of incense, and use them to make a bondari. Or recite the Dharani 21 times toward the 5 color thread, and make them a close circle on the ground with the thread as a bondari. All this will do if one can accept and hold the Dharani in accord with the Dharma. He will achieve the fruit naturally. If anyone just hears the name of this Dharani, his weighty sin of birth and death of countless kappa will be eliminated, how much more so of those who recite and hold this mantra themselves. If anyone can know and recite this holy mantra, we should know that he has already offered and sustained innumerable Buddhas, and have idly planted his virtuous root. If he can recite and hold the Dharani in accord with Dharma to relieve all living beings from suffering, we should know that he is the one with the great compassionate earth, and will become a Buddha soon. If he recite the Dharani for all evil beings that he sees, make them hear the Dharani, and make it become a cause of their achievement of bodies, and his merit and virtues are immeasurable, boundless, and cannot be completely praised. If he can use his heart with pure sincerity, keep the abstinent precept, repent the previous sin on behalf of all living beings, also repent his own various sins accumulated in countless last kalpa, keep reciting this Dharani, and never allow the sound of recitation to interrupt, then he will achieve the fourth Ramana fruit in his present life. If he has excellent talent for Dharma and masters the skillful means of wisdom, also then achieving the fruit of 10 billion small worldly blessing, all his wishes will be fulfilled. If he wished to command ghost, he should find a school in wild area, wash it clean, set up a mandala in front of the statue of thousand-handed or thousand-eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, making offering of multifarious fragrance, flower, drinks and vegetables. Do not do this day after day. Then 7 days later the ghost will appear and obey his order. If you wish to command the 4 guardian gods, he should recite a word of sandalwood and burn it. Then he will achieve the goal, because the power of the Bodhisattva, great compassionate vows, are deep and weighty, and the power of his holy Dharani is mighty and vast. The Buddha told Ananda, where there are catastrophes in a country, if the king of the country can manage state affairs according to correct laws, will be liberal toward people and animals, do not do anybody an injustice, absolve people from blames, and can, and for 7 days, 7 nights, keep his body and mind sincere and diligent, and in this way recite on all these great compassionate Dharani, holy mantras, and all the catastrophes of this country will disappear, the 5 kinds of crops will be abundant, and these people will rest in peace and happiness. If a country is being frequently invaded by enemies from other countries, people are unsafe and ministers are treacherous, pestilence are spreading everywhere, the rains and the droughts are unbalanced and unseasonable, even the sun and the moon lost their accuracy. When such disaster comes, the people should make a statue of thousand-handed and thousand-eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and set it facing the west. Make offering to it sincerely with fragrance, flowers, streamer, precious canopy of vegetable, food, drink, of 100 of tastes, and for 7 days and 7 nights, if the king of the country can keep both his body and mind sincere and diligent, and in this way recite and all the sacrosanct wonderful phrases of this Dharani, then the foreign enemies will be tamed of themselves, they will return to their own countries and make no further disturbance. The country will be in communication and will have friendly relations. The princes and officers will be loyal. The queen, the prince's wife, and the maid will also be loyal to the king. Dragon, ghost, and spirit will protect this country. The rains will be seasonal. The fruit will be abundant, and the people will be happy. If anyone in the family gets a serious evil disease, or if hundreds of monsters appear, or if a ghost, spirit, and demons deplete and demolish the family, or if some villains malign the family and plot to harm them, or if the members of the family are disharmonious, they should set up a mandala in front of the statue of thousand-handed and thousand-eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Recite the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva with their deepmost earth, and then recite this Dharani fully 1000 times. Then all those misfortune will disappear, the family will be peaceful forever. Ananda asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, what is the name of this mantra? How should we accept and hold it? The Buddha told Ananda, this holy mantra has many names. One of them is vast, great, perfect. Another is unimpeded, great compassion. Another is relieving sufferings, Dharani. Another is lengthening life, Dharani. Another is extinguishing evil destinies, Dharani. Another is breaking evil karma hindrances, Dharani. Another is fulfilling wishes, Dharani. Another is the Dharani of the freedom in accord with the earth. Another is quickly exceeding the upper stage, Dharani. Thus should you accept and hold it. Bodhisattvas and spoke a great holy mantra for supporting the mantra holders of the great compassionate earth Dharani. Namo Buddha, Unami, Namo Dhamma Mahadi, Namo Sangha, Tayeni, Tri, Bubi, Sattva, Yam Namo. This mantra can extinguish all sins, also can avert demons and disaster. If one can recite the Dharani once and bow to Buddha once, 3 times daily, recite the Dharani and bow to Buddhas, then on the next life he will get the delightful result that all of his facial features are handsome. Moonlight Bodhisattva also spoke a Dharani mantra for supporting practitioners. Sumdidi, Tusuza, Ajamedi, Uduza, Sumkiza, Valedi, Yemijaza, Uduza, Kuladiza, SURYAVAJRA. Make a rope with 5 colored thread, recite the Dharani, this mantra 5 times towards the rope, and where on the sword this mantra had been spoken by the previous 40-gauge river sense Buddha, now also speak it for supporting all practitioners, for eliminating all obstacles and calamities, for healing all diseases, for relieving all sufferings, for accomplishing all virtuous dharma, for eliminating all fears. The Buddha told Ananda, you should accept and uphold this great compassion Dharani with a deeply pure heart, spread it abroad widely through Jambudvidva, and never allowed to be lost. This Dharani can great benefit for all living beings of the three realms of samsara. All living beings suffering from disease can use this Dharani to heal their diseases. Even a withered tree can grow new branches and fruit when someone recites this holy Dharani towards it. It is impossible that diseases of sentient and conscious being cannot be healed by this mantra. Virtuous man, the mighty and holy power of this Dharani is unimaginable. The glorifications for it are endless. Not having wide and plenty good rules from previous lives, one cannot hear even the name of this Dharani, not to mention the contents. You are of the assembly, gods, human beings, dragon spirits should also glorify it while hearing my glorification. Slandering this mantra is equal to slandering those 9.9 billion Ganges River Sense Buddhas. If anyone doubts or don't believe in this Dharani, we should know that he will lose the supreme blessing for eons. He will fall into the evil destiny constantly in thousands of kalpas, and unable to escape. He will be unable to see the Buddhas, unable to hear the Dharmas, and unable to see the Sanghas for a long time. After hearing the Buddha glorified with Dharani, the assembly Bodhisattva, Mahasava, Vajra, secret classes, deities, Brahmas, gods, the four heavenly kings, dragons, god spirits were all pleased and practiced as taught. Great Compassion Dharani Sutra. Thus, however, once Shakyamuni Buddha was on the Potala mountain in the treasure adorned white place in Avalokitesvara palace, sitting on the precious lion's throne adorned in purity with countless multifarious many jewels. Hundreds of precious streamers and banners were hanging all around. At that time, because the Tathagata, who was sitting on his throne, intended to explain the teaching of the total retention Dharani, he was together with innumerable Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, whose names are Dharani King Bodhisattva, Triple King Bodhisattva, SURYAVAJRA, King Bodhisattva, Vesaja Samukata, Medicine Superior Bodhisattva, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Mahastama Prapta, Great Strength Bodhisattva, Avatam Saka Bodhisattva, Great Sublime Bodhisattva, Precious Deposits Bodhisattva, Virtue Store Bodhisattva, Vajragarbha Bodhisattva, Akashagarbha Space Store Bodhisattva, Advaya Bodhisattva, Samanta Bhadra Universal Goodness Bodhisattva, Manjuri Bodhisattva, and so on. Such Bodhisattva Mahasattvas are all great Dharma princes who had been empowered through their crowns Abhisheka. The Buddha also, together with innumerable great voice hearers, Sravakas, all carrying out the 10th stage of Arat practice headed by Mahakasyapa. He also, together with innumerable gods of Brahma heaven headed by Sindha Brahma, he was also together with innumerable gods of heaven of the desire realm headed by Ubaga God. He was also together with innumerable four guardians gods headed by Dhritarashtra. He was also together with innumerable gods, dragons, yaksha, gandhavas, asuras, garudas, kinnaras, moharagas, human beings, amanusiyas, headed by heavenly virtue great dragon king. He was also together with innumerable goddesses of heaven of the desire realm, headed by virginal eye goddess. He was also together with innumerable Sunyatas, god of spaces, gods of rivers and oceans, gods of fountains and springs, gods of streams and ponds, gods of herb, gods of forest, gods of houses, gods of water, gods of fire, gods of earth, gods of winds, gods of grounds, gods of mountains, gods of rocks, gods of palaces, and so on. They all came and gathered in the congregation. At that time in the congregation, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva secretly emitted his sacrosanct light there upon the world in the 10 directions, along with 3,000 great thousand world systems were all illuminated and became golden heavenly palaces, palaces of dragons, and palaces of all gods were all shaken. Rivers, oceans, iron ring mountains, Kakravada, Parvata, Sumeru mountains, earth mountains, and black mountains were also shaken. The light of suns, moons, earth, fire, and constellations all disappeared. Witnessing this rare scene, Dharani King Bodhisattva was more surprised than ever before, so he rose from his seat on his palm and asked the Buddha with the Gatha verse, who achieved the correct awakening today, emitting such great bright light universally. The world of the 10 directions are all golden, so do these 3,000 great thousand worlds, who attain the ultimate freedom today, manifesting their great holy power. The innumerable Buddha worlds are shaken, so do palaces of dragons and gods. Now the entire congregation is wondering, not knowing what power caused this. Is Buddha, Bodhisattva, or great voice hearer, or Brahman, demon, heaven, god, or Sakra. We pray for the Bhagavan, Lord Order One, the great compassion, to tell us the cause of his great supernatural power. The Buddha told Dharani King Bodhisattva, virtuous man, you all should know that in this congregation there is a Bodhisattva Mahasattva named Avalokitesvara, the unrestricted one. He had achieved the great kindness and great compassion his uncountable kappas before, and he excels at practicing countless dharani gates in order to comfort and please all living beings. He secretly emits such great sacrosanct power. After the Buddha said that, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva arose from his seat, tidied up his clothes, joined his palm toward the Buddha and said, Bhagavan, I have the mantra of great compassionate of Dharani, and now wish to proclaim it for comforting and pleasing all living beings, for healing all illness for living beings, to attain additional lifespan for living beings, to gain wealth, for extinguishing all evil karma and weighty sin, for keeping away from hindrance and disasters, for producing merits of all what pure dharmas, for maturing all virtuous roots, for overcoming all fears, for fulfilling all good wishes. Bhagavan, please be merciful and allow me to speak. The Buddha said, virtuous man, you have great kindness and great compassion in order to comfort and please all living beings. You wish to speak the holy mantra, it is the proper time now. Please speak it soon. The Tathagata completely rejoices it, and so do all Buddhas. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva then said to the Buddha, Bhagavan, I remember that countless billion of kappas ago a Buddha whose name was Thousand Ways King, stillness thus come one, appeared in the world. Because of his mercy and mindfulness to me and all living beings, that Buddha, the world honored one, spoke this vast, perfect, unimpeded, great compassion. Net earth Dharani rubbed my crown with his golden hand and said, virtuous man, you should always earth mantra to give great benefit and happiness to all living beings in the future evil age. At that time I was just at the first Bhumi stage of Bodhisattva. Right after hearing this mantra, I exceeded the 8th Bhumi. At this time, because my heart was joyful, I vowed, if I will be able to give benefit and happiness to all living beings in the future, let me have 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes. Immediately, instantly after the vow, I got fully 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes on my bodies, and the ground of the walls of the 10 directions quaked in 6 way. 1,000 Buddhas of the 10 directions emitted their light to my body and illuminated boundless world of the 10 directions. From then on, from countless Buddha congregation, I repeatedly heard, accepted, and held this Dharani, and the joys were also repeatedly aroused from my heart and made me greatly enthusiastic. Therefore, I transcended impossible birth and death and countless billions of kappa. Since then, I have been always reciting, holding this mantra, and I have never forgotten it. Because of holding this mantra, I was always born by miraculous creation, Nirmana, from lotus in front of Buddha, and have never been born from anyone. If there are monks, bhikshus, nuns, bhikshunis, laymen, upasakas, laywomen, upasikas, pure youths and maidens who wish to recite and hold this mantra, they should first arouse their great merciful compassionate heart for all living beings and follow me in making this vow. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly know all Dharma. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon obtain the wisdom I. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly ferry all living beings to shore of liberation. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon obtain virtuous skillful means to enlighten various living beings. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly board the prajna boat. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon transcend the ocean of suffering. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly achieve precept, samadhi and the way. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon ascend the mountain of nirvana. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I quickly dwell in the house of non-action. Namo great compassionate Avalokitesvara, may I soon unite with the Dharma nature body. If I go toward the mountain of nice of itself breaks up. If I go toward the boiling oil of itself dries up. If I go toward the earth of themselves disappear. If I go toward the hungry ghosts of themselves become full. If I go toward the Asuras, the evil thoughts of themselves are tamed. If I go towards the animals, they themselves obtain great wisdom. After making this vow, recite my name, Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisvara Sattva. With the deepmost earth, also recite single mindedly the name of my teacher, Amitabha, Tathagata, Namo Amitabha. Then recite this mantra 5 times or more in a day to remove weighty sin of birth and death of hundreds of thousands of billions of kalpa from the body. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva then said to the Buddha, Bhagavan, if human or God, recite and all the phrases of great compassion Dharani. When they are about to die, all the Buddha of the 10 directions will come to receive them in their own, and they will be reborn in whichever Buddha world according to their wishes. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva continued to say to the Buddha, Bhagavan, should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra great compassion fall into the three evil paths, I vow not to achieve the correct awakening. Should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra great compassion not be reborn in any Buddha world, I vow not to achieve the correct awakening. Should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra of great compassion not obtain unlimited samadhi and elegance, I vow not to achieve the correct awakening. Should any living being who recite and hold the holy mantra of great compassion not obtain whatever he seeks in his present life, if it cannot be called the Dharani of the great compassion earth, unless it is used by those who are not virtuous or not completely sincere. If a woman dislikes her female body and wishes to become a male, she recites the phrase of the great compassion Dharani, but cannot change from female to male, and will not to achieve the correct awakening. However, if she arouses even a slight doubt, her wish will not be satisfied. If any living being uses the drinks through the possession of sanghas, even so 1,000 Buddhas appear in the world, he will not get to repent and reform. Even if he repents, his sin will not be eliminated, but now by reciting this great compassion holy mantra, his sin will be eliminated. If anyone usurps it or uses the drink, food or possession of sangha, he must repent to teach us of the 10 directions to eliminate his sins. Now when he recites his great compassion Dharani, the teacher of the 10 directions will come to bear witness, and then all his weighty sins and hindrances will be eliminated. All evil karma, weighty sins, such as the 10 evil deeds, the 5 rebellious sins, slandering people, slandering the Dharma, breaking the abstinent precept, breaking other precept, destroying stupa, breaking temples, stealing property of Sangha, and profaning Brahma practices, can be completely eliminated, except one thing. If one doubt about the Dharani, then even his small things and light karma cannot be eliminated, not to mention the weighty sins. Although the weighty sins do not disappear immediately, the reciting can still be the cause of body in the future. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva continued to say to the Buddha, people gods who reside on all the great compassionate earth Dharani will obtain 15 kinds of good births and will not suffer 15 kinds of bad deaths. Bad deaths are, they will not die of starvation or poverty. They will not die from having been yoked, imprisoned, canned, or otherwise beaten. They will not die at the hand of hostile enemies. They will not be killed in military battles. They will not be killed by tiger, wolves, or the fierce beasts. They will not die from the venom of poisonous snakes, black serpents, or scorpions. They will not drown or be burned to death. They will not be poisoned to death. They will not be killed by mediumistic insects. They will not die of madness or insanity. They will not be killed by landslide or falling trees. They will not die nightmares sent by evil people. They will not be killed by deviant spirit or evil ghosts. They will not die of evil illnesses that bind the body. They will not commit suicide. Those who recite and all the great compassionate holy mantra will not suffer any of these 15 kinds of bad deaths. I will obtain the 15 kinds of good birth. The place of birth will always have a good king. They will always be born in a good country. They will always be born at a good time. They will always meet virtuous friends. The organ of the body will always be complete. Their earth of way will be pure and mature. They will not violate the prohibitive precepts. All their relatives will be kind and harmonious. They will always have the necessary wealth and goods in abundance. They will always obtain the respect and help of others. Their possession will not be plundered. They will obtain everything they seek. Dragons, gods, and good spirits will always protect them. In the place where they are born, they will see the Buddha and hear the Dharma. They will awaken to the profound meaning of that proper Dharma which they hear. Those who recite and all the great compassionate earth Dharani will obtain these 15 kinds of good births. All God and people should constantly recite and all it without laziness. After saying that, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva joined his palm and stood up in front of the congregation. I was this great compassionate earth for all living beings, smiled and in this way spoke the sacrosanct wonderful phrases of the vast, perfect, unimpeded, great compassionate earth, great Dharani. The Dharani is Namo Ratna Trayaya, Namo Ariya, Avalokitesvaraya, Bodhisattvaya, Mahasattvaya, Mahakarunikaya, Om Sarva Rabaye Sudanaya Sya, Namo Skritva Imam Ariya Avalokitesvara Ramdava, Namo Narakundi Iri Maharatna Sami, Sarva Adadu Subhyayi Asikin Sattva Satanavama, Satanama Bhagava Trata, Om Avalokes Lokati Kaloti Serima Bodhisattva, Sattva Sattva, Mara Mara, Maes Maes Rudrajin, Guru Guru Karma, Turu Turu, Varjayati Ma, Varjayati Dara Dara Trini Savaraya Chara Chara, Nama Varmara Mukti Tries Ies, Sarma Sarma, Arasham Buddha Rasari, Vasa Vasam Buddha Rasari, Uru Uru Mira Uru Uru Esri, Sara Sara Seri Seri Seru Seru, Bodhiya Bodhiya Budaya Budaya, Maitreya Narakundi Iri Maharatna Samizvaha, Siddhaya Svaha, Mahasidhaya Svaha, Siddha Ariyai, Sava Ariyai Svaha, Narakundi Svaha, Marana Svaha, Setyara Sangha Amukaya Svaha, Sarvamaha Siddhyariyati Svaha, Kakra Siddhaya Svaha, Buddha Dharma Siddhaya Svaha, Narakundi Bhagayai Sara, Maravisin Karma Ariyai Svaha, Namo Ratna Triyai, Namo Avalokitesvara Ariyai Svaha, Om Siddhartha Bandala Bandiyai Svaha. When Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva finished speaking this mantra, The earth shook in 6 ways. The heavens rained down precious flowers, which fell in colorful profusion. All the Buddhas of the 10 directions were delighted, while the heavenly demons and exterior past practitioners were so frightened that the earth stood on an end. Everyone in the congregation achieved different fruition, including fruition of stream enterers, Srota, Apana, once-returners, Skard, Agamin, non-returner, Anagamin, and Arat. Others achieved the first Bhumi stage of Bodhisattva, the second Bhumi, the third, fourth, fifth, up to the 10th Bhumi. Innumerable living beings arose. The body earth, the resolve to save all living beings and help them to achieve the correct awakening. Then the great Brahma, heavenly king, arose from his seat, tidied up his clothes, joined his palm respectfully, and said to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, "How virtuous Mahasattva! I had attended innumerable Buddha congregation, myriads of Dharma and Dharani, but never before heard such sacrosanct, wonderful phrases of the unimpeded, great, compassionate Earth's great compassion Dharani. Mahasattva, please tell us the feature and figure of this Dharani. All of us will be pleased to know that." Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva told the Brahma king, "For the convenience of benefiting all living beings, you have asked me this question. Now you listen carefully. I will tell you in brief." Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said, "It is the great, merciful, and compassionate Earth, and impersonal Earth, the motionless Earth, the unpolluted and untouched Earth, the emptiness observing Earth, the respectful Earth, the humble Earth, the uncluttered Earth, the non-view and non-grasping Earth, and the uppermost body Earth. You should know that such Earth as the feature figure of this Dharani. You should practice according to them." Then the great Brahma king said, "We now know the feature figure of this Dharani. From now on, we will recite and hold it, and will never dare to forget or lose it." Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said, "If any virtuous man or virtuous woman who recite and always only Dharani can arouse the vast body earth that vow to ferry all living beings to the shore of liberation, keep the abstinent precept bodily, arouse the earth of equality toward all living beings, keep reciting this Dharani without interruption, reside in a clean room, wash themselves clean clothes, wear clean clothes, hang up streamers and light up lamps, make offering with fragrances, flowers, vegetable food, and red of tastes, concentrate the mind to the one point, do not think about other, and recite and hold this Dharani according to the Dharma, then sunlight Bodhisattva, moonlight Bodhisattva, and innumerable gods and immortals will come to bear witness and enhance the efficacy of their recitation. At that time I will illuminate them with 1,000 eyes, and protect and support them with 1,000 hands. From then on, they will be able to master all worldly literature and will perfectly understand all exterior space theories and sorceries as well as the Veda scriptures. One who recites and all this holy mantra can heal all of the 84,000 kinds of diseases of the world without exception. He also can command all ghosts and spirits, vanquish heavenly demons, and tame all exterior spaces practitioners. If one is reading sutra or practicing dhyana in a mountain on a wild field, some mountain spirits, various gods, demons, monsters, or deva come to disturb and make him unable to concentrate, reset the mantra once, then all those gods and spirits will be tied up. If one can recite this mantra in accord with Dharma and arouse merciful and compassionate earth toward the living being, I will then command all virtuous gods, dragon kings, and Vajra secret places, divinities to always follow and guard him, never leaving his side, guarding him as their own eyes and life. Then Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva said the Gatha, I command the Vajra secret traces night, Ushshuma, Kundalin, Ankusa, and the 8 clans powerful knight Sankara to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Mahesvaras, Narayana, Umbiraba, and Kapila to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Pagis, Sarasakas, Perfect, Virtuous, Shebuds, and Kimanas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Saja Maoras, Bandas, Katabutanas, and Bandras to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Vipagara kings and morality Vitasaharas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Brahma king Sambra, the 5 clans of pure abode heavens, and Yamad Rajas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Sakra Devana Mindra, the Lord of the 33 heavens, Savras Vastis, and Vardanas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Drita Rastra King, Aritis Goddess, and Great Strength Gods to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Virudaka King, Virupaksa King, and Vesravana King to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command the golden peacock king of the 28 clans of great immortals to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Mani, Bhadra, and Pantika Emperor Palava to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command Nanda, Upadanda, and the Sagara Dragon King Ibra to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command the Azuras, Gandavas, Karunas, Gibnaras, and Maharagas to guard the mantra holders constantly. I command the gods of water, fire, thunder, lightning, Kumbanda King, and Pikasas to guard the mantra holders constantly. Those virtuous gods, dragon kings and goddesses, each along with 500 retinues of great strength Yaksa, will always follow and guard the holder of the great compassion holy mantra. If the mantra holder dwells and sleeps alone in an uninhabited mountain or wilderness, those virtuous gods will guard him by turns to eliminate misfortunes. If the mantra holder loses his way deep in the mountain because of reciting this mantra, the virtuous gods and dragon kings will transform themselves into virtuous people and tell him the correct way. If the mantra holder lacks water or requires fire in a mountain, forest or wilderness, the dragon kings will protect him by miraculously creating water and fire for him. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva then said, a misfortune eliminating a refreshingly cool gata. When walking in wilderness, mountain or marsh, if encountering tiger, wolves or fierce beasts or snakes, spirits, demons, monsters, ghosts, they will be unable to harm the mantra holder when they hear the mantra. When voyaging on river or sea, poison dragons, flood dragons and makaras, yakshas, rakshas, fishes and soft-shelled turtles will dodge when they hear this mantra. If besieged by battle arrays of robbers or being robbed by villains, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. Those villains will show mercy and go back. If one is imprisoned by government official, jail, chain and lock, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. The officer will show mercy and set him free. If entered a house of poisonous insect raising family in a wild way, the family proposed to venom with drinks, food or medicine, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. The poison will turn to nectar. When a woman is giving birth to a child, evil demons come to obstruct the birth and causing suffering and oppressive pain. Recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. The demons will disperse, leaving a safe and comfortable birth. If evil dragons or pestilence ghosts spread poison, people are infected by pyrexia and about to die, recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely. Disease will be healed and lives of people will be lifted. If evil dragons or ghosts spread the tumescent diseases, people suffer from carbuncles, sore, abscess, ulcer and bleeding. Recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely, then spit 3 times to the abscesses and you will be cured. These are model and wicked living beings who aroused immortal minds, causing hatred by sending nightmare, ghosts and curses to you. Recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely, then the hexes and evil spells will return to its original sender. When Dharma is about to disappear, the world is evil, feculent and disordered. People's sexual desires are like raging fire. Their hearts are deluded and they confuse right and wrong. They have adulteries with others behind their spouses and think of lust days and night without a pause. If they can recite the great compassion Dharani sincerely, the fire of sexual desire will quench and the evil minds will go out. If I glorify the effect and power of this mantra in detail, even 1 kappa is not enough for the glorification. Then Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva told the Brahmas, recite this mantra 5 times, use thread of 5 colors to tie a knot, then recite the Dharani 21 times, tie 21 knots, wear it on neck. This mantra has been spoken by previous 9.9 billion Ganges River Saint Buddhas. Those Buddha spoke this mantra for the practitioner who practice the six perfection paramita, but have not yet fulfilled them to make them succeed quickly. For those who have not yet arise body earth, to make them arise body earth quickly. For Sravakas who have not yet achieved fruition, but to make them achieve fruition quickly. For all gods and supernatural persons in the 3,000 worlds who have not yet arisen and surpassed body earth, to make them rise the body earth quickly. For all living beings who have not yet gained the root of faith in Mahayana, with the mighty holy power of his Dharani, their seed of Mahayana and Dharma buds will grow quickly with the power of my expedience, mercy and compassion. All of their needs will be supplied. For those living beings of the three evil paths who live in the gloomy region of the 3,000 worlds, when they hear this mantra, they will be free from suffering. For Bodhisattva who have not yet achieved the first Bhumi, to make them achieve quickly and make them achieve even up to the 10th Bhumi and even up to the Buddhahood with the 32 marks and 8 manual marks achieved naturally. If a voice hearer, Sravaka, once hears this Dharani pass by his ear, if he practices and writes this Dharani, and if he settles down with straightforward earth in accord with Dharma, then he will naturally achieve the fourth Ramana fruit, even if he does not seek for the fruition. Suppose all the mountain, rivers, cliffs, and oceans in the 3,000 worlds can be boiled, the Sumeri mountains and Kakravada Parvata mountains can be shaken and grind into dust. For all living beings of that number to arouse the unsurpassed body earth, if anyone prays for any wish in this present life, he should keep the abstinent precept and keep reciting this Dharani for 21 days, then his wishes will certainly be fulfilled. From the verge of the previous birth and death to the verge of the next birth and death, all his evil karmas will be cleaned up in the 3,000 worlds, all the Buddha, Bodhisattva, Brahma, Sakra, Nirvana, Indra, the four guardian gods, divinities, immortals, and dragon kings will bear witness. If a human or heavenly beings recite and all this Dharani bath in a river or the sea, the nearby living beings yet wet by his bath water will have their weighty sin clean and be reborn in pure land of other direction. They will burn through miraculous creation from lotuses and will not undergo birth from worms, moisture, ends, how much more so of those who recite and all this Dharani themselves. If one recite and all this Dharani is walking, a wind blows his hair and closes, then the living beings blown by the wind that previously touched the mantra holder will have their heavy obstruction and evil karma cleansed, will not continue to suffer from karmas of the three evil paths, and often be born in front of the Buddhas. It should be known that the mantra holder's blessing, virtues and fruit repayment will be unimaginable. If the mantra holder says anything, no matter good or bad, it sounds like pure Dharma souls, all heavenly demons, exterior past practitioners, gods, dragons, ghosts, and spirits. Thus, they will respect the mantra holders as if he were a Buddha. As to one who recites and all this Dharani, we should know that he is a store of Buddha bodies, because he is cherished by 9.9 billion Ganges river saints Buddha. We should know that he is a brilliant light source, because he is illuminated by the light of all Tathagatas. We should know that he is a store of mercies and compassion, because he constantly saves living beings with this Dharani. We should know that he is a wonderful Dharma store, because this Dharani includes all Dharani gets. We should know that he is a store of dhyana and samadhi, because hundreds of thousands of samadhi often appear in front of him. We should know that he is an empty spaces store, because he constantly observes living beings with wisdom of emptiness. We should know that he is a store of intrepidities, because he is constantly guarded by dragons, gods, and virtuous gods. We should know that he is a wonderful language store, because the Dharani songs come from his mouth is uninterrupted. We should know that he is an eternally abiding store, because the three disasters and evil kalpas cannot harm him. We should know that he is a liberation store, because heavenly demons and exterior past practitioners cannot detain him. We should know that he is a medicine king store, because he constantly heals living beings with this Dharani. We should know that he is a supernatural power store, because he can freely travel around the Buddha worlds. The glorification and virtues of the mantra holder are endless. Virtuous man, if one tires of the suffering of the world and seeks for happiness of long life, he should settle down in an occupied and clean space, make a pure, secure boundary, recite this Dharani toward disclosing water, food, fragrance, or medicine for 100 times and then use them, then he will certainly gain a long life. If he can make a secure boundary, accept and hold the Dharani in accord with Dharma, then all things will be achievable. The method of making a secure boundary is recite the Dharani 21 times towards the knife and then mark the ground with the knife to make a boundary. Or recite the Dharani 21 times towards some clean water and then sprinkle it around as the boundary. Or recite the Dharani 21 times towards some white mustard seed and then scatter them around as the boundary, or make a boundary by mind. Or recite the Dharani 21 times towards some clean ashes of incense and use them to make a boundary. Or recite the Dharani 21 times toward the 5 color thread and make them a closed circle on the ground with the thread as a boundary. All these will do if one can accept and hold the Dharani in accord with the Dharma, he will achieve the fruit naturally. If anyone just hears the name of this Dharani, his weighty sin of birth and death, of complete kappa will be eliminated, how much more so of those who recite and hold this mantra themselves. If anyone can know and recite this holy mantra, we should know that he has already offered and sustained innumerable Buddhas and have idly planted his virtuous root. If he can recite and hold the Dharani in accord with Dharma to relieve all living beings from suffering, we should know that he is the one with the great compassionate earth and will become a Buddha soon. If he recite the Dharani for all living beings that he sees, make them hear the Dharani and make it become a cause of their achievement of bodies, and his merit and virtues are immeasurable, boundless, and cannot be completely praised. If he can use his earth with pure sincerity, keep the abstinent precept, repent the previous sin on behalf of all living beings, also repent his own various sins accumulated in countless last kappa, keep reciting this Dharani and never allow the sound of recitation to interrupt, then he will achieve the fourth Ramana fruit in his present life. If he has excellent talent for Dharma and masters the skillful means of wisdom or soothing, then achieving the fruit of 10 Bhimi is not difficult for him, not to mention those small worldly blessings. All his wishes will be fulfilled. If he wishes to become ghost, he should find a school in Vaidara, wash it clean, set up a mandala in front of the statue of 1,000-eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, making offering of multifarious fragrance, flower, drinks and vegetables. Do not do this day after day. Then 7 days later the ghost will appear and obey his order. If you wish to command the 4 guardian gods, he should recite a word of sandalwood and burn it. Then he will achieve the goal, because the power of the Bodhisattva, great compassionate vows, are deep and weighty, and the power of his holy Dharani is mighty and vast. The Buddha told Ananda, where there are catastrophes in the country, if the king of the country can manage states affairs according to correct laws, will be liberal toward people and animals, do not do anybody and any justice, and solve people from blames, and can, and for 7 days, 7 nights, keep his body and mind sincere and diligent, and in this way recite on all these great compassionate Dharani holy mantras, and all the catastrophes of this country will disappear, the 5 kinds of crops will be abandoned, and these people will rest in peace and happiness. If a country is being frequently invaded by enemies from other countries, people are unsafe and minister are treacherous, pestilence are spreading everywhere, the rains and the droughts are unbalanced and unseasonable, and even the sun and the moon lose their accuracy. When such disaster comes, the people should make a statue of 1,000-eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and set it facing the west. Make offering to it sincerely with fragrance, flowers, stringer, precious canopy of vegetable, food, drink of 100 of tastes, and for 7 days and 7 nights, if the king of the country can keep both his body and mind sincere and diligent, and in this way recite and all the sacrosanct wonderful phrases of this Dharani, then the foreign enemies will be tamed of themselves, they will return to their own countries and make no further disturbance. The country will be in communication and will have friendly relations. The princes and officers will be loyal. The queen, the prince's wife, and the maid will also be loyal to the king. Dragon, ghost, and spirit will protect this country. The rains will be seasonal, the fruit will be abundant, and the people will be happy. If anyone in a family gets a serious evil disease, or if 100 of monsters appear, or if a ghost, spirit, and demons deplete and demolish the family, or if some villains malign the family and plot to harm them, or if the members of the family are disharmonious, they should set up a mandala in front of the statue of 1,000-eyed Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, recite the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva with their deepmost earth, and then recite with Dharani fully 1000 times, then all those misfortunes will disappear, the family will be peaceful forever. Ananda asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, what is the name of this mantra? How should we accept and hold it? The Buddha told Ananda, this holy mantra has many names. One of them is vast, great, perfect. Another is unimpeded, great compassion. Another is relieving sufferings, Dharani. Another is lengthening life, Dharani. Another is extinguishing evil destinies, Dharani. Another is breaking evil karma hindrances, Dharani. Another is fulfilling wishes, Dharani. Another is the Dharani of the freedom in accord with the earth. Another is quickly exceeding the upper stage, Dharani. Thus should you accept and hold it.